Join the legendary Force MDs in the morning, along with Dr. Pebbly Pooh, the first female hip-hop soloist, in the mornings on the Force MDs Morning Show, featuring Dr. Pebbly Pooh, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook or on Uni TV and radio on the Force MDs page.
We about to bring out classes. Yeah, we in the building, man. We in the building. We in the building, young man. We in the building. But listen, we about to bring him out. I'm going to intro him because, I know him when I used to live in Chicago. When I had many lives that I lived, you know what I mean? I may be a little, maybe y'all know this. I was a little dude running with Thompson coming up. He probably don't know me because I did the Benjamin Button on all of them. You know what I mean? Benjamin Button on him. I went back in time. I let them keep going. I went back. Now I'm connecting back. But I'm about to bring them on right now, y'all. I want y'all to give a warm round of applause for my man, Pots and Pan, Baked Beans, Lasagna, the whole boing boing, the legend himself from Chi-Town, from the Chi, like the last man standing. My man, Marshall Thompson. You know what I mean?
Shot.
Look at him already. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Guy, hit them shoulders, man. Marshall, man. Good morning. And how you doing, good brother?
It's a pleasure being on your show this morning. Get me about this bed. I'm going as soon as I hang up.
Yeah, you heard he ain't going back to sleep. But you know what? Respect his gangster, because look, he gets up to handle his business, man. They made, just when you know somebody about their business, they hear, they said they're gonna do something, they do it. He hears right now. We appreciate you, respect you, man. For giving us, time out of your day, because time is priceless. You never get it back.
That's right.
We're glad to have you here. People in our audience, they grew up on you, and it's what comes out of your mouth is priceless and golden, man, because it's an experience that we get to experience with you, man. So, my brother, it's a pleasure having you on the show. I like that hat. You pimping it real early in the morning, baby.
That's sharp. That's sharp, baby.
Thank you so much. That's that Shy Sound style.
Oh, he went to Capri.
But at this time, I wish I was in Chicago. I live in Las Vegas now, but I wish I was in Chicago later for me.
There you go. How is it out there in Vegas, man? How you like it out there?
I love it. After we got our star on the Hollywood Boulevard, they moved me straight here to Las Vegas.
Hold. You see how he threw that frisbee? He threw like a Mayweather jab and a Muhammad Ali little flurry. You see how he threw that? He said, after he got the star on the Hollywood
Boulevard. Yeah,
congratulations, brother.
Congratulations. Yes.
Congratulations, man. Here
we go.
Wow, man. So listen, man, listen, brother. I'm excited. That's all I can tell you, man. So coming up, man, in the game, man, you guys, music, it was different. I know it was a little different, man, especially in the country. The country is a little more divided. Is that correct?
Right.
And, y'all transcended all that and still, kept pushing and help, break through these walls for new artists and even for the industry as a whole, man. But you coming up as Marshall Thompson from Chicago, who was you listening to when you was young? Who inspired you?
Well, before then, first of all, my whole family is musically inclined. My daddy played with Louis Armstrong, so that's how it started. And then from there, I got a shot. I got my first shot at the Regal Theater in Chicago. Regal Theater is right up the street from me, just like they had Apollo Theater in New York, different places. Right. But mine is right up the street, so I went there for a job. I was a drummer coming out of high school. Okay, coming out of high school, a drummer. I went to the Regal Theater. Purvis Spann, he passed away yesterday, but he let me backstage in the Regal Theater at sound check of Gladys Knight. I said, man, I had my snare drum under my arm. I was sitting in the audience while she was doing her sound check. The drummer kept messing up her show. She only had 4 hours to go before she started her show. I raised my hand. I said, Gladys. I didn't even know her from Adam and Eve. I said, hey, Gladys, could I come up there and play your show? She said, come on up here. Somebody got to play it. Showtime is only 4 hours away. So I went up there and got on the drums and got to wailing them drums, man. I got to wailing, and I got the job with Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Oh,
So I ended up playing with Gladys Knight for the first week because I've been practicing every song that she had out at home in the basement. I said, I'm gonna go over there and see Gladys. They said, everybody in the neighborhood said, you crazy. You ain't gonna get on no regular theater. So they used to throw me out in the snow all the time, you know. So, so, so I told my dad when he came home from tour, I said, would you talk to Red Saunders band up there so I can get him backstage? So he talked to the guy, the owner there, and went over there and told Sarge, hey, Sarge, you know who I am. This is Mr. William Thompson. You know, I'm with Satchmo. He said, oh, my God, Satchmo. He said, my son wants to come up here with his snare drum and watch some of the stuff to learn how to, learn about the big shows. So that's what I did. I got in and I got the job. And I played with Gladys Knight and the Pips for a week at the Riggle Theater. Then,
Wow.
after the Riggle Theater was over, I was going back to the house and I got a call. I got a call from Major Lance. He had out a record called Monkey Time. And I say, okay, let me see what this is about. He said, this is Mr. Thompson? I said, yeah, this is Miss Thompson. This is him. He said, you through with Gladys Knight? I heard you play with Gladys Knight at the Riggle Theater. He said, my drummer just got drafted. You want to come play with me?
Wow, you heard that? He got drafted.
Yeah, he got drafted in the Army. So I
Did he
said,
ever come back?
I'm going to play with Major Lance with Monkey Time? You got to be kidding me. He said, yeah, I'm on tour with Dick Clark, Caravan of Stars. So I ended up going out with Dick Clark, Caravan of Stars, and got through with that. Went to Houston, Texas. Went into Houston, Texas. Major was playing at the Ray Barnett Cinder Club. Okay, and you know how the big stars were in them days. They take their own time to get wherever they want to go, you know. So he was combing his hair, they say, at the hotel. And we up there playing the intro of his song. And he didn't even show up. So Ray Barnett say, hey, Marshall, I heard you sing with that group in Chicago. I don't know what the name of it is, but could you sing a couple of songs? So I sung Gene Chandler's song, Rainbow, Rainbow and Nothing Can Stop Me and all that, because I always try to sing like Gene Chandler. So I sung the song and I held the crowd till he got there. And at the end of the show, I said, let me go ask him, could I bring my group from Chicago, Marshall and...
This boy hustling, boy, he hustling.
I said, could I bring my group, Marshall? He said, wow, we can't, they don't know nothing about no Marshall, no satellite. I say, well, that's my group. I tell you what, my manager is at the hotel, Muhammad Ali. He's over at the motel. I said, let's put his name up on the marquee that he's going to be there. So he said, oh, that might work. So I went over and asked Ali. I said, hey, Ali, could you put your name up on the marquee so we can draw some people in here? Because they don't know nothing about no Marshall, no shylights. So that was good. So I went back home. I took Eugene Record, the lead singer and songwriter. I got him out of driving a yellow cab. I got Squirrel. He was a welder. I got him off that job. I got Red out of the post office. I say, hey, fellas, we're going to Houston, Texas. He said, what? We're going what? I said, we're going to Houston, Texas. Same. We went up there, and the people was wrapped around the block. Muhammad Ali had them people wrapped around the block. So we went in there, started singing our stuff, singing our song. Next thing you know, them people was calling us back to come to Houston every week.
I know that's right.
Okay,
so that's what started.
Let me say something. So hold on. You threw a lot of jabs in there. I caught a couple of them, but I'm still like, I'm still going around. Now, that you said, now, how did you know Muhammad Ali like that? You just like walked Muhammad Ali and said, yo, I need to put your name on the marquee. Like, you knew him like that?
Well, in Chicago, our manager, which wasn't Muhammad Ali, but our manager was named Reggie Thomas. He worked for Muhammad Ali as a guard. And he was down in Houston with Muhammad Ali at the hotel there.
No, Marshall, do me a favor. Move back a little bit from the camera. Just move back a little bit from the camera, because like that.
Yeah,
like
there
that.
you go.
There you go. So he was a security guard. He probably was with the Nation, right? He was with the Nation and all that.
Yeah, he was in the Nation.
He was the Nation, yeah, because I know the Nation was doing all the security.
And that's how it all started, man. We went there, Then I went back home. Then I was I was managing Michael Jackson and them, and me and Luther Terry.
What?
Whoa,
Hold up.
Whoa!
Wait a minute.
He's throwing some out of practice jams right now.
Yeah, he
Out of
thought.
practice
Wait
jams.
a minute. You
That's
discovered the Jackson 5, right? You
Yeah.
discovered them.
Well, I didn't discover them. I put them in position to be discovered.
Woo!
Marshall,
Correct
don't get
me.
too close to the camera, Marshall. Don't get too close to the camera.
Mhm.
Yeah, stay like
Right
that.
there,
There you go.
right
Stay
there.
like that. Yeah.
I'm just trying to hear you. That's why.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. But could you hear us now?
Yeah, I hear you pretty good.
Yeah.
So you
okay.
put them
Yeah,
in the position to be discovered. How did you do
Right.
that?
Absolutely. Well, what happened is when I got back to Chicago, I asked Purvis Spann, which he passed away yesterday. I asked him,
Oh.
could you bring me and the Jackson 5 to the Regal Theater? The Jackson 5 had won the talent show that Friday, but I was on the major show with Bobby Taylor and the Vancougers. Okay, so we end up going to the Regal Theater, and I went upstairs on the 3rd floor and asked Bobby Taylor, hey, Bobby, could you take us to Motown? He said, what? I said, well, we want to go to Motown, man. And he said, man, I think about that. In the meanwhile, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, which is the opening act for us, because they did the talent show, they was tearing that stage up. Them girls was going crazy. He said, Marshall, who is that making all that noise downstairs? I said, that's the group that me and Luther Terry and Joe Jackson, we managed the group. That's his sons. He said, would you take me down there to meet him? So I took him downstairs on the 2nd floor and introduced him to Bobby Taylor. Okay. Next morning, I get the call from Joe, because you and Joe was partners. Everybody know that. Okay. Joe say, I say, Joe, where y'all at, man? Man, we on our way to Motown with Bobby Taylor. I said, what? I said,
Wow.
I told him to take me. Take you to where you didn't tell me nothing. He
Wow.
said, we on our way to Motown, man. So they went to Bobby Taylor's house and stayed with Bobby Taylor for a whole week, and they got that job. And then I go back. I'm at home in Chicago. I go back. Look, I'm gonna tell you how the Lord worked. I go downtown, get off the bus. I was riding the bus, and Major Lance was walking down the street. I said, man, is you crazy? They gonna tear your clothes off. Is you crazy? he said, man, I'm glad to see you, Marshall. You know about that group you got? I'm gonna take you upstairs to meet Carl Davis and Jackie Wilson. I said, you kidding me, man? I'm gonna take you upstairs and meet Carl Davis and Jackie Wilson. So I went up to see Carl Davis for audition, and I say, Carl, could you give us an audition? He said, Major said you could play some drums. Why don't you play on some of Jackie Wilson's records? So I played on one of his records on the drums while I was up there. Okay, now I'll go back, get the guys. We come on down to Brunswick Records and sung one of our songs. I think I forgot the name of it, the first one, but it was a tryout song, but we ended up recording it. And Jackie Wilson say, man, them boys can sing, man. Sign them boys. That's how we got our contract.
Wow. I wanna give a shout out to Beverly Black, because she coming on here with some bangers. She said New Edition asked you to represent them, but you declined.
Yeah, what happened? Well, what happened with New Edition, they laugh about it all the time. I had my tour bus in Boston, and they lived right around the corner in projects. And I was playing at Roscoe's in Boston. So I was on my tour bus. Our tour bus had Old Girl on it and all that, real famous. We were famous. We was hot then. Okay. So I see these little kids. There was kids there. I say, they coming into my bus, knocking on my door, bang, 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 bang. Could we audition for you? Man, I said, well, I told my wife before she passed away, I said, hey, let's let them on. Let's see what they could do. They got on the bus and they started dancing all up down the whole bus, flipping it. I say, man, come on. They said, could you sign us up with a record company? I said, you only got one problem. You ain't sung for me. You can't sing. you can dance, but you can't sing. So Maurice Starr out of Boston was a good friend of mine. He's coming to all my shows. I said, Maurice, these guys can dance like crazy. Could you do something for them guys? He said, well, okay, I'll take them. So he ended up taking New Edition and New Kids on the Block, and then
Wow.
history for them too. So
Wow.
You got to slow down, Marshall. You got us running. You got us running off the road right now. You got us running off the road. Right now. Listen, everybody that's listening is like, yo, hold up. He got some metal in his hand. He slapped us in the head with it right now. You hit us with Muhammad Ali, Jackie Wilson, Joe Jackson, the Jackson 5. Like you hit us with some heavy ones right here. These
Right.
these are
Well,
like our history, culture, our idols, and you're telling it effortlessly, man. I'm like, we loving it, man. We loving it, man.
Yes. Oh my God.
well,
All the way.
you know, one thing about it, you know where you've been, but you don't know where you're going.
That's right.
So
Ooh.
let me ask you something, man. Wow, man, that was good so far. I'm hoping y'all enjoying all that right there.
I mean,
He
what?
dropped the
Thank
mother load on us right now. Mother load.
Thank
Now look, for a lot of people don't know, Gary, Indiana, it ain't that far from Chicago. It's like what, 4 hours?
Yeah, well, it's on, from my house back then. Well, you get there in 10 minutes.
To Gary, Indiana.
From my house in Chicago, yeah.
Wow.
So you
All
see,
you got to do it. All you do is jump on the Skyway, get off the first exit, you're in Gary.
Woo.
yeah. So a lot of a lot of people don't know how close like Gary and Chicago is, and Chicago is what, like 4 hours from Detroit? How many hours from Detroit?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 hours from Detroit. 3.5 hours, 4 hours.
So that's that whole Midwest, that that whole like that little circle,
Right.
Indiana, Chicago, Detroit. I'm missing something, and I think Milwaukee, something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that
I
little
was
whole circle.
I was surprised that Joe came over to my house. I would
Uh-huh.
I would never left a card, and so he said, "Is Marshall Thompson there, Saturday?" I say, my auntie say, "No, he's not here right now, but he'll be back this evening." So he left a card. So I called him up. I says, that's how I first met him. That's been over 50 something years ago. I said, so Joe said, "Man, we're trying to get to your house. You got that arrangement." See, back in those days, I don't know if you remember, back at the Apollo Theater, Uptown Theater in Philly, and all those places, you had to have a big arrangement because they had the big bands playing behind you,
Okay.
big house bands. So Jermaine was singing one of Bobby Taylor's songs, I'm Your Man. And we used to sing I'm Your Man. So Joe, that's how we met. Joe said, "Could we use your arrangement? Could we use your full arrangement?" And I said, "Yeah, you can use it," because Jermaine sang I'm Your Man. So that's how we started, man. We've been friends ever since for 52 years.
Wow.
Hey, so Marshall,
Hey,
somebody asked, did you ever sing at the Peppermint Lounge in New Jersey?
Sure did.
Shout out to James.
In the Peppermint Lounge, you go in the front door and you go in the back door, they got that food back there waiting on you.
Um.
Hey,
They,
Bob, what is your history with Where you go? You go, Pep. You go first, Pep.
yes, I want to know about you and Aretha Franklin.
Well, Aretha Franklin when we got to Queen's booking agency, and my new manager, which is everybody know about them, new manager, very heavy. He managed Aretha Franklin, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Sharon, Ray Charles, and who else was on there? He had a few more, but he had all the top acts in the country. And when I got to meet him, I thought he was crazy. he said, "We're gonna put y'all on Flip Wilson show in about a week." I said, "You got to be crazy." He said, "Yeah, I managed Flip Wilson." I said, "What?" So he said, "Y'all got any uniforms?" I said, "Yeah, we got some uniforms." He said, "Well, I'm gonna put you on Flip Wilson show next Friday in California." So the number one television show in the United States at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get on that show, get that show. Okay. Now leave there, get back home. Manager called us again. "Hey, you want to be on Dick Clark show?" I said,
Ooh.
"What?" I said, "What?" He said, "I managed Dick Clark." I said, so we was on Dick Clark show. Okay. Now, here we go. About 2 months later, "You want to be on Sammy Davis and Company show?" Yeah, I say, how we gonna get on Saturday? He say, I'm at a Saturday.
God damn.
So we got on them 4 shows at the same time. Next thing we knew, about 2 weeks later, Old Girl went straight to #1 on the chart, pop and R&B.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's the break that we was blessed enough to have through our
Wow.
manager, and I still have the same manager today.
So I'm being told, Beverly, go ahead, Beverly. Beverly Black is bringing it in. She said, "Did we know that Beyonce Crazy in Love was sampled from the Shy Lights? Are You My Woman?"
You know how she got that song?
How?
She had one of her representatives, Tara, was my wife. She was, she was younger. She knew about all that young music and all that stuff. And
Right.
she had the CD, one of our greatest hits. So the guy come back and say, can I take one of y'all greatest hits? And we gave him the greatest hit. Next thing we know, we getting a call saying she cutting one of our songs. I didn't know which one it was, but see, I'm cutting one of the songs. And next thing I know, man, I play congos on Crazy in Love as well as my song, Are You My Woman? Okay, that's what she sampled. And
Whoa.
I'm hearing my song playing, hear me playing my congos on her Crazy in Love. She speeded it up and she had some more Congo players on top of me. Man, that lady, we sold about 2,000 records in about 68 on our song. And she sold 10 million.
Oh, God. Damn.
I said, this is crazy, man. It was out at the right time. And we was back in our day, we were supposed to get 2 Grammys for Old Girl, 1 for Have You Seen Her. They wouldn't give it. I don't like to talk about that one. You know what's up. It wasn't, we didn't get it. Anyway, we didn't get it. Okay. So next thing I know, she gave us one of hers.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, she gave us one of hers for Crazy in Love.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's
She gave it to
beautiful.
Eugene Record. The lead, the one that, wrote the song. Are You My Woman?
What other artists sampled some of your songs for?
Well, Jay-Z, he did December 4th. That's his birthday. That's How Long I Love You. He is singing all over that thing. He do the same track. You got MC Hammer did Have You Seen Her, of course. You had
What?
Paul Wall did Old Girl. You got Paul Young did Old Girl. You got what's her name? What's that girl? It's another girl. Well, you had Fantasia. She did Baby Mama. That's our song.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's our song. Ours is called There Will Never Be Any Peace to God is seated at the conference table. If you listen to Fantasia's, her song, Baby Mama, you're going to hear our music all the way through the whole song. She used the whole track.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Marshall, if I'm not mistaken, Tevin Campbell redid Old Girl also, am I correct?
Man, so many people, well, them other people, so many people did Old Girl. So that's why I'm in Vegas today sitting down.
I know that's right.
Hey, yo, hey, Marshall, Beverly said that you got the radio show as well. She said you got the radio show, the Soul Music School.
Right.
That's the name of
Right.
it?
She called me one day. That's how we met. She called me, tell me about a radio show. I said, what you got? She said, I got a radio show and it's doing this and doing that. I said, well, put me on it. She fell out. We've been friends ever.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. Because I just reading somebody comment something said, we was asked in the chat line to type in one of our favorite songs by the Shy Lights. She said, there's so many to choose from. The one that comes to my mind, the coldest days of my life.
That's the one. Wow. That's the one I sang the lead on stage with. Coldest Day. I love it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we had Billboard charts. We had 37 Billboard chart records.
Wow.
Hey, Marshall, I don't know if Pebble, Marshall, is it true you guys got a, besides your Black audience, you got a real huge Mexican, Latino following? Am I correct?
Oh, yeah, all around. We crossed the board. See, when Old Girl came out, which was the biggest record we ever had, Old Girl crossed the board on all charts. Have You Seen Her across the board, but it didn't go to number one pop. It went to number 3 pop and number 1 R&B. Old Girl went to number 1 pop, number 1 R&B, number 1 across the board. And that's the one got us that Hollywood Walk of Fame star. That Old Girl did that.
Wow.
So let me ask you this, Marshall. I got a text that just came in. Let me just read it. It says, name one of the hardest groups that y'all went on tour with, that y'all was like head-on competition with.
Well, I tell you what. Now they didn't have no hits, no big hits at that time. But one of the baddest groups I ever seen in my whole life was the Unifics out of New York.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard they had the white gloves on, right?
Man, with them gloves on, buddy, you got problems. You had problems, buddy. Those man, we was in New York at the Apollo Theater, and I never knew him. See, I never knew him, and we was a headline and all that. And they say, "Well, Unifics coming on before you." Them boys came out there swinging them gloves around and dancing like that. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Oh my God!"
Yo, Khalil Bowleggaloo told me about them.
So I told Eugene, I told Squirrel, Red, hey fellas, listen, we got the hits. Don't worry about no dancing. Just sit down in the chair and sing. Because you can't do nothing on that stage when Unifics fall off that stage. Sing down, sing them hits. And that's what got us over, because we had the hits. But them Unifics did every step you can think of in their show. Every step. I don't care if the New Edition or whoever come on that stage.
Temptations,
them
step them off.
Unifics is rough.
Yeah, I see. You know, Shirley husband is Khalil from the Unifics, right?
Wow, you know that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, his name is
Ain't
Khalil.
that something?
Khalil, yeah.
I tell you what, every time somebody didn't show up, the headliner show up at the Apollo Theater, you know what they call?
You guys.
Unifics.
Oh, them?
Unifics. Yeah, they're gonna bring them in, and they're gonna hold that crowd too.
Now, let me ask you a question, Marshall. When you was in that studio and just finished, y'all finished Old Girl and play back and listen to it back to back. You know, you keep listening to a song after you record it. Did you know in your heart, I think this might be the one?
Well, Old Girl, let me tell you, when we did Old Girl, I was a little nervous because we never sung. I mean, at least me, I was an R&B nut. I wasn't about no pop or nothing, country western and all that. I wasn't in that category, not knowing that that's where I wanted to be, because we had the best, we had the best engineer in the world. I put him with Michael Jackson to do the Thriller album and stuff like that. He went with them because Michael used to sit in the studio with us when he was a little kid, watching us do our thing, And he said, "I'm gonna take that engineer. His name is Bruce Fradine. You can look him up on the internet. Bruce Fradine, he'll tell you everything. He's one of the greatest engineers and put together voices I've ever seen in my life. He just passed away too. He bought us 4 microphones. Each one of us had a microphone in the studio of our own. Okay, bass singer. He had him on a big old mic, boom mic. He had me. He had Squirrel. We had to put him across the street almost because he was so loud. He couldn't get no mix with Squirrel. Squirrel was loud, man. So you can say, Gene say, put him out the door. Let him sing out in the hallway. So he mixed that sound up for us, man, on Have You Seen Her? Wow, man, it scared me to death, man. I say, wow. But with the song, see, I was an R&B nut, like I told you. I was R&B, not knowing that Old Girl was the one to take us where we want to be today. Wow. I tell all the people now, all the youngsters that get mad sometimes when nobody won't play their record and all that. I tell you what, you make a hit, make a good record. I bet they'll play it. Because they'll play it now. Because they want to, all radio stations want good records. Okay, now the problem is, now you might have a problem getting in there for them to hear it.
Right.
That's your problem. But if you can get it good and you bring them a good record, just like what Frederick Knight, my friend, he gave the girl school teacher down south. Frederick come to me, hey Marshall, uh, would you help me out with this song "Ring My Bell"? With Anita Ward, she was a school teacher.
Ooh.
He said, "Man, that's gonna be a hit." I said, "How you know it's gonna be a hit? Ain't nobody bought it yet." He said, "This is a hit." Man, that boy put that record out. Man, that record sold so many records. Scared me to death.
Hey, Marshall, who played the harmonica on "Oh Girl"?
Well, Saab, his name is Saab. He played the actual record in the studio, and I played it on stage. I did the whole thing on stage everywhere I went.
Hold on, you played the Monica too?
Yeah, I played harmonica and drums.
Yeah,
That's
man.
how I got known. That's how I got known for "Oh Girl." Everybody think basically I played the harmonica on the record, but I didn't. Saab, a guy named Saab, he's passed away too. He played the actual harmonica on there. And then when we did Flip Wilson's show, I had to go play the harmonica myself, and that's where it started off with me playing the harmonica with him.
I want to ask you something. This really blew my mind just now. I'm Beverly putting here that you taught Emmett Till how to play the drums?
Drums.
Yep.
Hold on, I want to make sure everybody is listening to what I just said out here. I'm hoping y'all all familiar with Emmett Till. What happened with him when he went, to the South, and when he got, he got murdered and all stuff like that. The man right here taught him how to play the drums, man. But I gotta ask you,
Wow.
what was it like in Chicago at that time? And you knew his mother then. If you taught him
I
how to
was
play the
close
drums.
to the whole family.
Yeah.
I trained Emmett Till in my drill team. We had a drill team called the Cadet Drill Corps in Chicago. And
Wow.
when you was around 14, 15 years old, 16, everybody wanted to be in the Bud Billiken parade. That was the biggest parade in Chicago. So Emmett Till came and joined the CDC. And I trained him to learn how to march, drill like the Army and all that.
Yes.
Doing our steps coming down Michigan Avenue and all that. So I did that. And he had left us from the rehearsal. And he said, "Man, I'm going down south on the vacation. I'm going to Mississippi." And so we honored him and sent him off. And that was the last we heard of him.
Wow, man.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, Marshall, how about Stevie Wonder? Do you know him from Chicago?
Yeah, Stevie Wonder played on my record for me. It's called
Wow.
it was one of the songs. We went to Philadelphia, and they had hired him. Oh, If I Had a Girl. That's when you put up the If I Had a Girl, the Shylights. If I Had a Girl, you'll see Stevie Wonder name, courtesy of Motown. Stevie Wonder played on there for me. But the thing about Stevie, I walks in the door. Here's a guy so smart. Man, I'm opening my mouth. I'm saying, I'm talking, right? He can't see me or nothing. We know that, he's Brian. He said, "Is that Marshall?" I fell out. I said, "How you know that was me, man?" He said, "I know that was you. I heard you on that record. That's that Marshall." And that's what
Hey,
that was something else.
hey, Tamelia. Tamelia is asking, do you have any pics with Emmett Till?
With Emmett Till,
Yes.
did I have any WhatsApp stuff?
Pictures.
Any pictures?
Oh, well, that was about, I've been over, how many years that's been?
Yeah, no.
They done threw me out every house and home in Chicago by then.
Ah!
I had to find out where to find everything.
And you're affiliated with movies, right?
Oh yeah, I talked to Emmett Till. I talked to the lady who was on the bus. They was close friends. You remember the lady that was sit on the bus they put in jail down south?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
What's the name, y'all? The one that didn't want to sit in the back of the bus, right?
Right. They was close friends, her and her mother.
Rosa Parks?
Yeah,
Rosie Park. Yeah, Rosie Park. That's her. We had lunch together. Emmett Till's mother and Rosie Park. We was sitting there in Chicago there. We had lunch.
Wow.
We talking before they passed away. Everybody, but that was well, out of 63 years of being a Charlotte, I've been through it.
Wow. 60
Wow.
years. Now,
Wow,
Marshall, the song Toby Went Away. Is that right?
Yep.
What was that song? Is that song about a Toby? Is that a female, or what's the concept of that song?
That was about Eugene's dog.
I knew it was about a dog. I'm gonna tell you. Look.
Yep.
Hey, Marshall, listen. I'm gonna keep it one. I'm gonna keep it 1 million with you. When we was young, in front of the project, some little guys a little older than us, they were singing. It was a sad day.
Right.
Oh, but Toby went away. He's like, oh, he's like, ah. And after everybody's rocking to it, everybody drinking 40s and stuff like that.
Right.
My man said, yo, y'all singing about a damn dog, me?
Right. Right.
And we was like a dog. We was about to fight and everything. He ain't talking about, why would he be talking about a dog, B? Come on, he ain't talking about no dog. And just to find out, he was talking about a dog.
Eugene was a writer and something. You know, he wrote a lot of stuff. Love Makes a Woman for Barbara Acklin. We sung background on that one. You know.
That was a joint. You see, that song reminded me of Bishby. Bishby from the Harlem. Shout out Mike Green, Bishby, man. You know?
Yes, you do.
He used to love that song. He used to walk out his house.
Wow.
That was song. So Brandy by the OJs, was that song about a dog too, or about a?
I can't. You know.
Yeah, Brandy, right?
It was a dog for
it's about a dog too.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for.
I really miss you, Brandy.
Right.
Yes, dog.
Yeah. You know what, that Toby took a whole year to take off though.
Wow.
We was pounding on Toby over and over, all the shows we were doing, over and over and over. We wouldn't get no sales. And over and over, and all of a sudden, out of a whole year almost, it took off. Bang! It's gone.
Wow.
Hey, listen, I gotta kind of like do a recap for people that's just getting on here, man. The brother Marshall Thompson. Man,
oh, y'all missed
man. Y'all really missed some real good stories and information, man. From Muhammad Ali to the Jackson 5 to
Gladys Knight,
Jackie Wilson, the Gladys Knight,
Aretha Franklin,
Sammy Davis Jr. This
Emmett Till,
Beyonce, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jay-Z. Y'all really missed that. He was like heavy, throwing some heavy blows. I gotta go to the doctor.
Hold on. My mother gotta say hi to you.
I got a headache.
My mom.
Wow.
Yo, Marshall, our mother gotta say hi to you. She's okay. She's 77, 76. So right. she said, come here, Mom. 73. 73, all right. You ain't 73, Mom.
Oh, that man. How you doing?
That's my mother, Marshall.
Beautiful.
Highlights, Mom. Oh, girl. That's my. Say, I don't where I go. Oh, girl.
I'll be in trouble if I meet you now.
There you go.
Go ahead, Ma.
I don't know where to look for love.
That's it right there, Mom. The shot there you go. See?
Hey, Ma, he got my hat on.
Who?
That's him right there,
Marshall right there. Him right here. Look, you see him, Ma?
Have you seen her?
Hi.
Have you seen her?
That's him right here.
That's him right there.
Right there. You see him, Ma?
When I see her face everywhere I go.
Wow. Wow. You know what's exciting about that our Have You Seen a record? Every kid know it since we had our record was in the movie Finding Dory. And it just blew up. It just kept blowing up. Finding Dory. I was in a restaurant one time and one of my friends came in. I was already in there eating and I walked in the door. He said, "There come Marshall Thompson and the Shine Lights." And the little kids were sitting down there. And the little kids. They were sitting down there eating it. And he said, "My kids know him. I bet my kids know him." And they said, What? He said, "He made that record called Have You Seen Her? Have you seen her? Oh my God." That Finding Dory movie, man, it really put that song out there for us.
Aww.
How many soundtracks could you say this shit? A lot of y'all songs are on.
Oh wow. We was on the Panther movie, Give More Power to the People.
Wow.
Old Girl been in everything.
Oh, the Black Panther?
No, Panthers. About the Black Panthers.
The
About
first Black Panther movie.
Mhm.
When that's what took our song that took Power to the People to a million seller, because when they picked it up in that movie, it took off.
Okay, now besides Oh Girl, what was the second biggest record y'all had?
Oh, have you seen it?
Have you seen that?
Wow.
Carlo, remember they had When I'm Alone and I Need Someone.
Oh my God!
Oh, God.
Right.
I don't even think about
That
that.
that album went triple platinum. The one with Power to the People, that did real good. But that was a platinum album too. But the one we came out, the second album, the Lonely Man album, that's where they had Old Girl on it.
Woo.
Lella
Yes,
Toby. It
right.
had Lonely Man. It had well, we had so many hits down the line on that one. It was crazy, you know.
Right.
My man said, "Why oh why did you have to leave and go away?" That's right, God. That's right, God.
Fantastic, man.
But Steve, when I'm alone and I need someone to talk
Right.
to,
Oh,
I
that
come
was
to
Yeah,
so
we do
your
every
station.
you know what we do. We do every last one of those songs on stage.
Wait a
Give
minute.
that's
me a
Wait a minute.
pencil and paper, write all the things,
Yeah.
say all the
Hey,
things
you
I
hired.
never heard
I'm
you
gonna hire you
say
tomorrow.
before.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Snoop Dogg is your godson?
That's my godson, Snoop Dogg. His mother,
What?
his mother Beverly. That was my god sister. She just passed away too. We're doing the big show for him on for her celebration of death. We're doing that on the 25th. Me and the
Wow.
Isley brothers and Whispers, and
Oh
oh,
my
along
God.
yeah, and along with who else we got on there? We got Stylistic, Dramatics, all those groups is on there as well. Mm.
Yo,
Oh
man,
my God.
brother, I'm telling you, look, if for all y'all just getting on, but the brother here, they got a star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood.
Thank
So,
you.
Yes.
let's dribble the ball. Let's
hold on,
dribble the
Mark.
ball.
Tell Snoop to
Let's
put the
dribble the
boy some
ball.
D's
Let's
on
dribble
that
the
damn
ball.
show.
Let's dribble the ball.
Tell Snoop to put the boy some D's on that show, man. Snoop a big fan.
You know, Force and D is one of my favorite groups. You know that. So
Yo,
I, I ain't got to tell you that part. You know, y'all one of my favorite.
yo,
Anyway, I know we getting ready to do some tours, and I'm definitely going to put your name in there from the top promoters that we got. I got to
All
bring
right now.
I got to bring you in there because you all sings my songs. Y'all got a couple of songs that wipes me out. Well,
hey,
y'all got a
yo,
y'all got a
Brother.
couple in there, boy. Y'all can't sing them songs. I had to get out the room.
There you go.
That's all right.
But we
It's already
really appreciate you all, man.
We
And you
do.
all stick together, man. Don't let nobody tell you nothing no different. And then
That's
There you
right.
go.
once you get that one hit, that'll last you the rest of your life. Just keep doing it. Keep
Yes.
doing the thing. You know?
There you go,
hey,
man.
And-
Man.
hey, yo, hey, listen, man. I'm just blown away, man. I'm still. Hold on, they getting the oxygen tank for me. Hold on. A second. I'm still a little bad. Yo,
Wow.
hey, bro. I'm talking about you hit us with some Ukraine Russia power just now, baby. Yo, listen, man. Yo, but check this out. So check this out. So tell us about some of the members that were lost and that you lost and how did that come about? Because you the last man standing, man. That's like
Right.
wow. You
Well,
mean that's
first,
kind of like what's going on on this end here. Like, give us the rundown on that.
well, the first member we lost was the bass singer Red. He got kind of out there in the street side, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
and we couldn't stop him. I mean, we held him long as we could, and we also always kept their uniform hanging up in case they get themselves back together. And he didn't
Oh.
want to stay there in the position that he was in to hurt the group. So he went out and went out and did everything. And next thing we know, he had passed away.
Oh
And
man.
and then Eugene Record caught cancer. Uh, he stayed with the group for a long time, and he wanted to go. He something that told him. He said he wanted to sing with gospel with the Lord. And when he told me that, I couldn't say nothing. I said, Gene, how could I say something about that? And you talking about going sing with the Lord? I'm
Mhm.
not gonna put no hex on me. You You go and sing. And he went and sung with the Lord. And then he caught cancer down the line. And he
Oh
passed away.
wow.
And then Squirrel, he was with me the longest of all. And he caught cancer.
Mm.
And it took him out as well. So I'm the last man standing, you know. And the reason why they put me in
Wow.
the position of the Godfather, you know all about that, Godfather vocal groups, is because I made sure that all the groups out there that hadn't been paid for their royalties over the years, because we all been through that. I showed them how to get paid, and that's why they made me the Godfather of
Now,
vocal.
let me say this. Look, Beverly put on here. Beverly, hey Beverly, when I see you, I'm gonna give you a big hug, Beverly, because you definitely putting all the spices in the stew right now. You spicing the stew up right now.
Yes.
She said, ask him his equation for success.
Wow, mine is always keeping my head up. Don't listen to people that don't have to talk negative. Forget about
Right.
that. You got to think for yourself, and you got to pray for yourself to make it. And you keep
Exactly.
on going.
Exactly.
It's all in
Mhm.
prayer. You know, don't worry about everybody will tell you, you ought to quit that. You do, man. Yeah, I remember back in the day when my buddy was telling me, man, y'all ain't going nowhere. Yeah, right. Could you stop the million sellers we had?
And
So
10%
you know
show.
you got to be, you got to know what you do. You know what you're doing. And just about us, mostly outside the R&B race, the black race, they born with talent. All they got to do is keep believing in what they believe.
Right.
When you
Right.
believe in what you do, it'll happen for you. And make sure that you're in the right spots, get with the right people, and
Hmm.
always trying to stay around. If you're an entertainer, try to get to the shows and try to get backstage and do all that stuff. Be an entertainer.
Right.
You know, don't sit in the front crowd. You ain't gonna get, all you're gonna get in the front crowd is like everybody else, have fun.
That's
But you
right.
try to make it with your career. Go to the
Right.
back door, knock on the door and tell them who you are. You know, and look at me and Smokey Robinson, the best of friends. I never knew Smokey Robinson from Adam and Eve down there in 47th Street. He was over across the street from the Wriggle Theater eating lunch. And I went in there. You know how entertainers are. I know I can tell y'all because y'all entertainers, but check this out. When you ask somebody something, they say, I know you. They don't know you, but they just trying to feel you. They say, I know you. And then every entertainer always gonna say, yeah, I know you. They don't know you.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
remember you. I remember what's your man, what's your now? I remember, oh, Marsha. Oh, that's it. That's it. I remember Marsha. They ain't know me, but now I know them now.
Now hold
Yo,
on.
so wait a minute.
Don Cornelius.
Don Cornelius, me and him started Soul Train together, talking in the back on Chicago in a little club. Me, him, and E. Rodney Jones. We would start talking about Soul Train. And next thing I know, we started. Of course, we started off Soul Train in Chicago, and I was the one to bring all the groups down there. Now the big groups like Tyrone Davis and Curtis Mayfield and all of them, they was on tour, so I never could get nobody to come do Soul Train show. So what happened? I said, hey, look, I got to bring my group. So I was bringing the Shine Lights on Soul Train in Chicago, the local show, for, man, I mean, it must have been a couple of years. And then Don said, Marshall, could you get some groups together? We want to make a pilot to go to California. So I said, man, I'll try, man. I'll call. Everybody was booked. I got Barbara Ackland. I got Jerry Butler. I got,
Wow.
I got Jerry Butler to come. I got the Dales to come. I
Mm.
got, it was about 6 of our groups. So we went in there for him and we did it. We didn't charge him or nothing. We just did it for the local Soul Train. And he took that pilot to California. Then he called me up. He said, Marshall, man, I got the deal. I said, fam, oh, wow. And that next thing you know, he's in California getting rich. So he brought us on the show in California about 4 or 5 times as well. I thank him for that.
Wow.
Hey,
Man.
Marshall, where are the Dells from? The Dells.
Dale is from Harvey, Illinois, the pride and joy of Harvey, Illinois.
That's
Right.
that's
It was a good
another
group
city
too.
in Chicago, in Illinois, right?
Yeah, that's 3 minutes. Dale's is it's 3 minutes from Chicago.
Wow.
Did y'all have look? I want to know this too. Look, in Chicago, what was like when what's some of the rival groups y'all had like coming up, like competing with each
Well,
other, like in the talent
we
shows and
we
stuff?
grew up off of the Dales and the Flamingos. We had Solid McElroy
Bingo, oh,
from the Flamingos. He sung with the Shy-Lights. We wasn't the Shy-Lights then. We were just getting started. But Solid McElroy, he was a tenor. I mean, he was the lead singer on some of the songs. And he came when he was in Chicago. We needed a singer just to be saying we playing around. We didn't make no money, but, we were just doing what we was doing. And he came over and sung some songs with us as well. But we always admired him and Johnny of the Dales. Johnny was with the Flamingos too. He was singing the tenor on "Only Have Eyes for You," from the Dale. So we grew up with that kind of music. That's where we learned how to sing, from the Dales and Flamingos, the Eldorados, the Spaniels, the Moonglows, Harvey.
Moonglows. They
Moonglows.
do the blow. They did the blow harmony.
That's right.
Right. They did the blow harmony.
That's where we learned how to sing from them guys. They paid the way for us, and we paid the way for somebody else to go further.
Let me ask
Wow.
you, Michael Jackson,
Beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Michael Jackson
Man.
was still alive.
Say it again.
I said when Michael Jackson was still alive.
Okay.
Did you ever talk with him when he was like when he reached this level of success over the earth? Did you ever talk to him?
I only stayed at his house sometime in California.
You stayed in his house.
I stayed at the house. I stayed there overnight. They had me overnight at the house.
Listen,
we was close. We was like family.
Wow.
You probably was the first person that farted in this house that we didn't know about.
I never
I want to know for our listeners.
I'm gonna tell you
something. Lay one in his house. Man, this is serious. This goes down in history.
Michael was so happy. He was like a little kid, man. I mean, I woke up one morning. I was in the bed, and I'm looking out the window, right, looking towards the window in the bed. Michael Jackson hanging up upside down, trying to scare me. This crazy. He's trying to scare me. Woo, 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 like a monster. I mean, I got pictures and all that stuff. Now I got pictures of all that house.
Did you see Bubbles?
Huh?
Did you see Bubbles, the monkey?
Smokey.
Huh?
Smokey Robinson?
No. Michael Jackson's monkey Bubbles.
Oh no, I didn't see that. I seen it like you all seen it on pictures and stuff on like that. But I wasn't around actually in this house when he was doing it.
I'm just thinking that maybe he probably, when you woke up, the monkey sitting there and just looking at you.
No, Michael was the monkey. Michael was the monkey. No monkey. He was the monkey hanging upside down. I say, man, they gonna kill you. They gonna kill yourself. And man, Michael had so much fun, man, in his life, And I understand. And got so popular, he couldn't even come outside. Nowhere.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy. Marshall, now, knowing him when knowing him when he was young in the Jackson 5, did you have any idea that he would become the biggest star in the world?
Like I told him at the burial. I spoke at the burial. Well, I didn't speak at the funeral, but at the burial, in Forest Lane, I spoke on. When I went up there to speak, I said, listen, I knew when you all was kids. I told Joe, Catherine, Janet Jackson, all of them was there. I said, man, I knew y'all was going to be big, but I didn't know y'all was going to get that big. I said it right there. And here's the thing. Watch this. And I said it at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, too. If you look at the tape, you look at the Hollywood Walk of Fame Light ceremony, live ceremony. I said that at the Michael Jackson burial, that we will always be together. We've been together for 50-something years. The Jackson 5, all of us. And I say, I never knew that we was going to end up the street with a star with y'all.
That's amazing. If
that
amazing.
Ain't together, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
If that's not God, I don't know what it is. If that ain't God, I don't know what it is, man.
Oh,
right.
That's crazy.
Listen, man.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
blown away, man.
Me
I'm
too,
just
man. I'm blown away, man.
I'm
Well,
blown away, man.
Yes, yes.
well, one thing about it, when I say it, I lived it. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's easy for me to tell the stories because I lived it.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Marshall, I gotta say this, man. Joe Jackson, my father, they about to get it popping, man. You know what I mean? Am I lying, Steve?
yeah, they argued about
Yo,
Jackson. Oh boy.
please tell that story. Please
No,
tell that
no.
story.
Well, Joe was the man.
Yeah, they
Joe
about to
worked
get
at
it
the steel.
popping,
Joe
man.
didn't
You
take
know.
no shit, right? Joe didn't take
Oh,
no
Joe
shit.
worked at the steel mill. We used to come out. I used to go pick him up sometime from the steel mill, bring him home. But he was very controllable of the kids. He knew what he had. You know, we all knew we had a good group, but we never knew it was gonna make it like that. You know, but he was very strict on them. Like people say, he did this and did that. Hey, I know the truth. If anybody know the truth, it's me. And when Janet Jackson had me in her documentary, not about a month ago, she had that documentary out. I think they showed me 3 times in there. And when they showed their kitchen, I started crying. Because I said,
Oh,
I remember in her kitchen, sitting down eating me and Joe. And then
wow.
she showed the bunk beds, which the bunk beds wasn't there before, but I was there when she had the bunk beds, you know, and when the house,
Wow.
little bit of house. And I mean, it just teared me up, you know.
Oh
Hey,
man.
Joe,
Man.
you got us all. See, you know, Jackson 5 is a key group that influenced us. You know, as being singers, they were the group that influenced us a lot too. Now, Joe, just from you knowing Michael as a young Michael, the way he sang like a mature person and with a little body, but sung like a mature man at that age. Did you know he had something really special?
Yes, I did. But the thing was getting them to the right people, like I told you.
Right,
Getting
right.
them to the right people. A lot of singer talent is out here, all over Vegas. They got talent everywhere in Vegas. But with Michael, I was trying to plan out how that I was going to get him to the right folks. And what
Right.
happened is that wonderful night at the Regal Theater in Chicago, Illinois, when they had won the talent show and got on the major show with me and Bobby Taylor and the Van Krugers, the Artistics, the Vibrations, on the same show, and they got their break. You know, you got to be at the right place at the right
At the
time.
right time. Yeah.
That's what it is. You get the place at the right time, you'll make it, especially with his talent. I mean, them girls were screaming to their lungs. Without they were throwing, they looked like they were throwing. I ain't gonna tell you what they were throwing.
They wasn't throwing lollipops.
They weren't throwing no lollipops, but I say that boy's too young. Leave him alone.
So you saying Michael Jackson as a little kid was picking up bras and panties? Mommy, what is this?
Man, let me tell you something. We used to run down the alley in Chicago. I played them at the Bonanza Club. I played them at Beale Street. That's the little clubs in Chicago. Cause we sneak in and sneak out. Cause the police be coming. I said, police coming. Let's get out of here. We got out. We run down the alley with the drums and everything.
Okay,
Wow.
Beverly Black.
Tom, Beverly's asking us to ask you about New Edition. I know you said you told us a story about. He told us a story about the bus. Is it another story?
Right.
That was a story about the bus, right?
Yeah, we did that when they got on my bus for audition.
He told us that Beverly.
About the New Edition.
Bobby Brown.
Marshall, I gotta ask you this. Okay, this is the crazy part. When you told us that New Edition was on your bus, they was dancing. We said, man, I really heard y'all sing. When you heard Candy Girl, him sounding like Michael, did that blow your mind or what?
Oh yeah, because Maurice Starr did something. Maurice Starr, he know he did something. I don't know what he did, but he did something. It worked. so Bivens, I went to see Bivens a little later on after they got to be stars. Bivens say, Marshall, I told you to take us.
Yo, Khalil.
I couldn't have did nothing for the New Edition because I was so into being the driving force of the Shylights. Everything was Shylights for me.
Yeah.
Shylights. So I couldn't have for that. But Maurice Starr was the right person. Like I tell you, you got to be with the right person.
Salute to Maurice Starr. Salute to Maurice Starr, man. He did a great job on New Edition.
Man.
Yo, Khalil.
Huh?
that everybody's asking for you to tell a story with your father and Joe
Now, you got to
Jackson.
tell us.
No, man, I
You
don't want to do that. I can't do that. Can't do that, man. I really don't. That's his close friend, man. I don't want to do that. It was just
That
just
one,
a
that one
misunderstanding
I can't talk about other than he was a great father. And it
Yeah.
proved that he was a great father. Look at all the stars come out the family.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
And
indeed,
if you
man.
don't
Yes.
like that, some people say, I hope he whooped me like that and make me a star.
Now, Joe,
I take it.
Marshall, I know Janet's success probably caught you by surprise. Am I correct?
Say it again.
Janet's success probably caught you by surprise. Like, well, I didn't know she was going to be that big.
No. I was with Janet's uncle, which his name is Jack. Jack used to take her to Good Times every day. Jack
Right.
called me and said, I said, Jack, where you at, man? Well, you know, I got to take Janet Jackson over here to be on Good Times, the movie. And I knew she was on her way to be a star right then from the Good Times. That's where it all started. You know, coming in there with her personality and her talent. And then she grew up right there in the family with nothing but talent. So she had to be a star some kind of way.
Right.
Yeah.
There's only one way she can go, to the top or fail.
Right.
There you go.
And she went to the top.
That's what's
All right.
up.
So, hey, Marshall, we got 1 minute left. We're
Okay.
gonna wrap this up, but I want you to give us and I want to ask you about your experience in the music business, and things you went through right now. What's your look on the music business right now?
Well,
And
music
move back from the camera. Move back. Yeah, now, yeah.
well, the music is better right now than it was years ago because now everything is streaming. You used to have to have a radio station to really make a hit. You can make a hit if you learn how to work that computer. See, I've been working the computer for 22 years now. My wife told me before she passed away, you got to learn how to work that computer, Marshall. And that's what's keeping me going today. Okay? And if you know how to work
Wow.
that computer and you get on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple, and all that, they don't care who you are. If they like that record, you can go.
You can go.
Wow.
Well, listen,
That
man.
is crazy.
We're gonna wrap it up, man. All I can say, brother, man.
Man, I got to hear my thank you.
Whoever
Boy,
missed
man.
this show, you missed some real
Real
gems
Jim.
and some real
Mr.
stories,
Jim.
man. This
Yes.
was incredible, man. I'm glad we woke you up because when I called him this morning, he was asleep. He was like,
Thank you,
God,
sir.
Lil, hang up, bro. I'm gonna get on this, that, I'm coming with 10. I said, yo, Marshall, get up now, playboy. Get up now, playboy. He said, down there, slow down, brother. I'm from that shy city, that cold city. I'm still cold. I said, all right, man. So,
And I like to say, I like to thank Daisy for bringing us
Daisy.
on,
Yeah.
Beverly.
Yeah.
Beverly. I like to thank all my good workers. We work together, and I love them all.
Yeah, shout out to Daisy
Oh,
and Beverly, man. Putting this
definitely.
together. We appreciate this, man. We had a great time. And Beverly, with some of the questions you helped us with Ash and Marshall, that was amazing. And Marshall, we wish you nothing but much success
Thank
and
Yes.
moving
Tell them to
forward.
come see us. Tell them to come see us on tour now. And, and
Make sure, listen, tell Beverly and Daisy to, let us know what's going on. We're posted as we move in,
okay.
and wherever you at, and listen, yeah, whatever you at. Otis Williams from the Temptations, man. We need to talk to you, brother.
Okay, that's my buddy. That's my buddy.
Yeah, I need you to put him in a dope fiend yoke.
Okay. That's my buddy.
Put him in a dope fiend yoke for us, and like, yo,
That's my buddy. They got a good album too.
Boy, stop.
Otis got a good album. Now I get them for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Marshall, we love you, brother. We love
Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Love you all, man. Keep doing what you're doing and pray on everything you do, man. You'll be on your way. Trust me.
Thank you, brother. Have a
Thank
blessed.
you.
Y'all, thank everybody for listening, man. And everybody loved the show, man. Great.
But now I'm
All
going
right,
back to
brother.
bed.
Yeah. All right, good brother.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day.
And
All right.
don't forget, go to Shy Lights website, official Shy Lights website.
Official Charlotte's website, y'all. All right.
Yes.
We'll promote it. Get Beverly to go give me information. We'll promote it after the show as well. All right.
Thank you.
Oh man,
Yes.
that was beautiful, brother.
Amen.
His name? They don't want to let you go, Marshall. We don't want to let you go.
Hey, Marshall, is your birthday August 24th?
August 24th.